All right, everybody. Welcome to Live with Neve. It's a beautiful Friday. It's a very foggy day here in New York City. We're glad you're here. We're high in the Highlands overlooking usually beautiful New York City, but today it is not going to be visible. So wherever you're tuning in from, we've got friends from all around the world. I've got here with my producer and co-host, Jewel Tate. She's going to be on with us, adding comic relief, witty banter, and trying to keep me in
I
line. What do you
I
got there,
already
Julie?
I already have something so perfect for you.
Okay.
It says Florida, North Tampa area, partly cloudy, sunshiny at 73 degrees. That's where I am.
Wow, we kind of dig that.
And now everybody hates me. I'm gonna get all hate mail now.
But that's okay because, tomorrow it'll be 105.
No, it won't. It's November.
And you got snakes and alligators.
Good
But I
point.
got
And
a,
mosquitoes.
yeah, but I do have a gun, but it doesn't work very well on the mosquitoes. So I don't know. In Florida, I think it's standard issue. All right, everybody. Today we've got all kinds of fun. We're going to talk a little bit about the election, just very briefly, because frankly, there's way more cool things to talk about. And I'm going to postulate that we don't know till at least, I'm going to say the 28th we'll know. A lot of people, for a lot of reasons, are going to say I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you this is going to wind and grind through the courts. People are going to be gnashing their teeth. It's going to be nonstop BS. So my advice to you is spend all of your time watching Live with Neve reruns. It's fat-free, it's alcohol-free, it's vegan-friendly. No pets have been slaughtered in the use of our experiments. All I can say is watch Live with Neve 24/7. Drink a lot. If you're into medicinal herbs, go ahead and smoke a lot of that stuff. Only if you're a medical marijuana patient. If not, do not inhale. In fact, if anybody does that around you, you need to run. I've been told, though, that it does cure COVID. And if you believe that, call me later. I have a great investment opportunity. We'll take advantage of these lean times, mean times we're in. So, Julie,
Actually,
tell me.
tell you. Okay, so first off, the Canadians actually found this out, discovered this a few months ago, that CBD itself actually prevents COVID germs from entering your body.
Well, maybe we should buy some stock in that and start, I don't know. I guess we can hawk that. Also, before we go on much further, I want to mention we're going to have the great Mike Imparato. If anybody's watching, check out Mike Imparato's rants on Facebook. He's a funny guy. He's just great fun, and we love him to death. And he'll be joining us in the second 15-minute segment we're running. All I can say is we're glad we met him. I liked him. I liked his act when I saw it. Called him up, talked, and I liked him. I just went, this guy's great. I can hang out with him all day. And so now we're lucky.
That's how you know you
comes
found a
on.
good person.
Absolutely. And he comes on, he does his bits with us, and gosh, I just have to tell you, we're glad to have him. He's a really funny man, and everybody out there, please check him out. Check out Mike Imparato's rants. They'll be good for you when you're not running Live with Neve shows. You can be running back-to-back Live with Mike, Live with Neve. This is good for your soul. In fact, you send me $10 and I'll give you eternal salvation or your money back. This is a good deal. I mean, you sign up for the club, the Live with Neve fan club, you get all kinds of stuff. You get an exorcism kit courtesy of, what's our friend down south? Our paranormal investigator.
John Spear.
Yes, John Spear of Kinsey Paranormal. If you have some critters running around your house, demons, spooks, or whatever, we'll bring John up and we'll get rid of whatever ails you, as they'd say down south. I know we've talked about having him come in and maybe do an exorcism here in our studio because
That's right.
whenever we get on, those of you who watch the show for a while, I am grateful that you stuck around through all of the technical foibles, the fun and games, the moments that have made me age. Look, man, I'm getting gray hair and stuff from this.
Oh my God.
And why do we do that? Because we love you. You're our audience. We think you're great. We've got so many friends that stop by. We got too many, though, who don't sign up and subscribe. So once again, I'm going to play Baptist preacher for the day. Please give liberally and largely, and I will not bite you with this here snake. Okay? You in the front row, I see you've been looking at my wife and thinking impure thoughts. That's $20, boy, or the snake's coming over, okay? I don't know where you're at, but this is how we do things down here. I don't like your New York accent either, boy. Well, I'm very sorry. I've never seen a naked religious service before. Well, that's right. You ain't going to the right church, you son of a bitch. You better sit down before I bite you with him. In fact, we got a whole box. I might just toss you in there. That's what we usually do with you. I don't know what you are. You're some kind of you're a disgrace to the church. I mean, look at here. You got that long hair. You got an earring in your ear. What's wrong with you, boy? I'm
where
putting
are
a
we
stake
now?
on you. We're begging for help. You can tell I was possessed by a Baptist minister, and John Spear needs to come on here and help me out. John, I know you're out there watching somewhere. If you are, please, we're in need of help. The studio's got poltergeists last night sitting here.
Last night only?
Last night
only?
Well, I had a very serious event last night.
Oh, really? Do tell.
I was sitting here. I was trying to write some bits for the show today, and the only thing I come up with is this stupid alligator who's invisible half the time. You see him? Look at this.
At first, I thought that was a stun gun.
We're going to get Julie. I wish it was. You know, the good thing, we can have a contest where we bring people live on. It looks like we've lost. I think we lost
Mr. Imparato. Yeah.
Mike, I think he's gone. Where's Imparato gone? I think I've scared him off with this morning's content. Anyhow,
unless the spirits got him.
Oh, Lord, it could be.
Away.
You know, hey, can you check to get a feed? I mean, we might need spiritual guidance right now.
I don't know. Let me see if I can get somebody on the line. Hold
ring
on.
him up.
I'm doing it.
All right. Well, Julie's
doing it.
Julie's calling our guest, who I think I've scared him off, which that would be a first on the show. And knowing Mike, this guy isn't afraid of anything. Couple of spooks here in the studio. I really do. I think that we're having demonic possession today. Mm-hmm. Where'd he go?
No, I'm not really sure. And I'm trying to find him. Where are you, buddy? Mike Imparato?
Yes, welcome to NPR. Today we're going to be talking about the election and its effect on gerbils. Yes, gerbils have been affected greatly by this heinous COVID virus, and they're just glad that they're alive. However, the political scene has been driving them crazy. We're going to check to see why their cortisol levels rise due to political stress. Whether you are a Republican or Democrat or an independent gerbil, you will feel the effects of political stress. So whether you hate the big orange guy or you're afraid Biden might come sniffing around.
Ew, no, that's not what I need. No, thank you.
Come on, we need a little sniffing. Here he comes.
Here he comes.
He's back.
Yeah, I lost my internet on my computer, so I just turned on my tablet real quick. Hopefully it'll come right back on me.
What a guy, man. Hey, Mike, I know that as a New York City policeman, there's not much that you're afraid of. I thought for a minute there we scared you off with the spooks.
No. It's like all of a sudden you guys just froze, and I looked down at my connection. I'm like, shit. So at least I got the tablet up.
Hey, all right. Well, when you get your headphones on, we'll carry on this grotesque Saturnalia.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna bring him back in and add to stream. There he is. We hear you, but we don't see you.
Okay.
And we're getting an echo.
All right, hang on. Turn off this microphone here. Give me 1 sec.
How do you whistle like that, Neil?
God, I'm getting such a wide. I feel like I'm doing mushrooms or something.
You still getting the echo? Because I unplugged the other mic.
Yes, you found sound perfect now.
Okay, good.
Not on my end.
Well, that's a whole nother show.
Hey, who knows? You know. John Spear, where are you, man?
Neil needs you very badly.
Hey, listen, if I got it, Julie, it's spread through the electronic fields and currents heading your way.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
We still we don't see you.
Hold on, let me see on. Oh, here we go. Camera was off. Hold on a second. One front facing. Here we go.
Yeah, man.
All right. Actually, I could plug my headphones into this thing. So give me
That would be
1 second here.
perfect.
That would be perfect.
Hold on. I know it's somewhere. There we go. All right.
Well,
All right, there. Dan, just if you could tip your computer down a little bit, so we're not staring at the light right away, that'd be great.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Thank
getting
you.
a technical check here.
Oh no.
Everybody who's watching, please
internet went
stand by.
again.
Our internet stuff it's the comedy of legends. You can see me into a full nervous breakdown on air, and then think about it. I'll have to run one of those GoFundMe's. I just quit drinking. I've stopped doing all drugs. I'm as sober as a judge. In fact, the concept of Neil as designated driver scares many of my friends who don't know of my lifestyle changes. The first thought of me driving anywhere, when somebody would say, well, Neil's the designated driver, they'll say, well, have you ever driven with him when he's sober?
You know, I have a one of those crazy driver stories. My soon-to-be former husband and I, our car broke down, and we got a ride in from someone, some nice lady, and her kids decided to give us a ride. We're like, okay, thank you. So we're in because it was just across the bridge. We didn't have to go far, and this woman drove like a maniac, like she was drunk. I mean, she was breaking the limit, swerving in and out of every lane possible, and nearly hitting every other car. My husband and I were like, please just get home safe. And that's apparently how she always drives, because her kids were totally calm. Nobody's freaking out except me and my husband, because we think she's going to roll the vehicle over into the water and we're going to die. But fortunately, that never happened. We made it home safe and sound, and decided that is why you never accept rides from strangers, even as an adult.
There you go. Well, you know, I've had some interesting rides. In the 70s, I used to hitchhike around a good part of the country. And most of the time it was great. You just meet some other long hair and pick you up, ride you 100 miles or wherever, and, you know, you'd do the hippie thing. Hopefully somebody had a guitar. We'd have some fun. But, you know, today we're in the age of stranger danger, and Ted Bundy, even though he's dead, he's got a lot of his friends out there riding around, so I can't imagine hitchhiking. Mike, I just had your mic off for a second because I knew you were adjusting your monitor. And today, guys, you're on Live with Neve, my co-host and basic creative person who keeps this outfit. She keeps the lights on sometimes.
Thanks.
She's here to kind of keep an eye on me. And just so you know, she has the shot collar. We got it back from the Biden campaign. So when I start to ramble off into left field or right field, wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it does look kind of cool.
I don't know, man. I could do a Christopher Walken thing.
Ooh. Oh, do the walk-in.
There we go, man. Got to do the walk-in. So anyhow, let's get back to the show. Mike, you've been...
Go ahead, Mike. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I just went back to my computer. Just bear with me. I guess
sure.
We had yesterday, my internet is acting up.
Oh, no. Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Oh, hey, Neil. Sorry, we can't hear Neil for some reason now. This is so much fun. I love it.
Hold on. It shows that his mic is muted.
Yeah, your mic is muted, Neil. I can't unmute it. There you go.
All right.
Yes, I love live broadcasting. It's so much fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow you out.
I'm going to leave my tablet on just in case we need to go back to that.
All right. So here he is, people, the one, the only, the Mike Imparato, and we'd like to give a warm welcome. He's live with Neve. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Thank you, guys. Mike Imparato from Mike Imparato's Rants, and as he said it, I am live with Neve. Woo! Hey, before I start today, I want to throw a shout out to some of my most loyal fans. They share every post. They comment on every post. I'd like to congratulate first Renee Norton, who had became a grandmother yesterday. She's one of my biggest supporters. Congratulations, Renee. Luther Butts, Bill Harper, Lori Lemieux, Kay Beauvais, and Kim Peace. I can count on you guys to share every post. Everything I put on there, you share. Always commenting, and really, really appreciate you guys. Now, before we go any further, and my mother disowns me completely, we need to clarify something. Oh, I'm a little Irish. I never say it. Oh, but I am. My great-grandmother, Catherine Maroney, was from County Clare in Ireland. Because my mother's like, oh, you know, Michael, you have a little Irish in you. Yeah, I know. I freaking know.
This
so now the whole
explains a
world
lot.
knows. Look, I got Irish written on the freaking note card. I'm Irish, part Irish. So now
Kiss me, I'm Irish.
So I can't curse from my mom, and now she knows that I'm Irish. So we're all good on that front.
All right. Well, we love the Irish, and I'm an Italian. I'm actually a real pure-blood American. I am a genuine mutt. I have Italian, English, German, a smattering of some type of Indian tribe. I don't know. It might have been an offshoot from Sicily. I don't know, the Wapaho tribe. Any of my brothers, Italians, getting upset about that, forget about it. So anyhow, there you go. Julie, you're also a paisan, so we love you. And I always figure out the Irish are always my paisan. I mean, you guys have the best St. Patty's party, and you let us come, and we drink, we marry each other's sisters. I mean, what a great bunch of people you guys are. You know?
Can I tell you?
How many times have you seen that?
So when I was a kid, growing up in New York, born and raised in New York, growing up in New York, I literally thought this until we moved down to Florida. And when I was 16 years old, I literally thought all of the world had like some sort of Italian in them. Each person had some Italian in them, just a little bit.
Right? Well, everybody's Italian.
That's what I really thought. And I come down here, I'm like, oh my God, where are all the Italians?
Yeah, right.
I'm in Florida. There's a bunch of mismatch of people here. This is kind of cool. And and then suddenly I'm discovering, I'm like, oh my God, I'm Cuban. I'm a chair. I'm like, wow, I didn't know any of this because I was living in New York with my Italian family, celebrating everything, living the Italian lifestyle, which was awesome. But so now I get to, it's cool learning about, your ancestors and all that.
That's great.
Well, I'm afraid to learn about mine, but go ahead, Mike.
Quick story: when I first moved to Florida, I had the track suits, the freaking gold chains, the whole deal. So me and my wife at the time, we go to this local county auction. Now, I'm not shitting you; they were auctioning off used Chia Pets, 50 cents each. But you're talking about, we moved into the backwoods. This county had no chain stores. No, it was just a mom and pop Nature Coast County. They're all there in the overalls and they freaking got their pipes and everything. Here we come walking in with this freaking track suits, the jewelry. Of course, my hair's freaking slicked back. And they looked at us like we just came off a freaking spaceship.
It's like my cousin Vinny.
Yeah, it was insane. Use Chia Pets. Who freaking buys a used Chia Pet?
Hey, did they have the President Obama Chia Pet? Those are valuable. You could have made a killing.
Yeah, it was funny though. I was like, man.
Believe it or not, a President Obama Chia Pet unopened is worth like a lot of money. If you look on eBay, there's people out there who'll pay. They just wanted Obama Chia Pet. The problem I have is I'm an eternal 12-year-old, and if I bought one, I'd have to sprinkle the seeds on it and make it grow. Hell, I think he'd look kind of cool with a fro, He'd join the Parliament Funkadelic. I'll groove with President Obama anytime.
Yeah. I mean, don't tell me freaking like my G.I. Joe space capsule that I had when I was 9 years old. Unopened in the box today. It's worth like $11,000.
Hey, I'm a Trekkie. I have the same thing. I have a collection, Star Trek collection like that. Yeah, man. I should sell that. It's not like I play with them.
You're going to have to join the religious sect.
My son Brian was trying to help me set up the green screen yesterday, but I don't think my video card supports it. But when he's on Zoom, he's sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise.
No,
that's how he set up his you have an option on his video card, use a green screen or just
the backdrop,
put a picture in it. Yeah. So like when he was talking to me yesterday, he's sitting in the captain's chair of the Enterprise. It's freaking great.
Dude, how do I get that?
I'll find out.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Julie, bring Mike up center. I know I can hear, I can see the gears turning in his head. He's out there. He's thinking about all this crazy stuff going on. And
sure. Let me get him out.
I'm going to take a sip of, and now everybody out there, remember, we didn't hurt any lab animals when we let Mike loose in the recording studio. We're pet free. Oh, not me.
I got a great rant for today. I've been saving it.
All right. Let me get you there.
All right. So here it is. Oh, I wasn't going to freaking rant. Oh, but I'm going to freaking rant. So the vaccine's getting ready to be administered. And, you got all these people. Oh, they're never going to get it. Well, first of all, I've never had a problem with any vaccine I ever got. I'm actually looking forward to this one because I like to get on with my freaking life. If somebody gives the argument, hey, the vaccine is not safe. They don't know if it could be. That's one argument. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But for the people that say they don't want to be freaking tracked by the government, they've been tracking you since the days that you use a key fob to get in your freaking car. Your cell phone. They know why you go to the freaking bathroom because you're going Home Depot to use the bathroom. There's always somebody sitting on a freaking stall in there talking on his freaking phone. How freaking rude is that? So they know everything we've been doing for the last 20 years. They got your Easy Pass. They got your key fob. They know what streets you drive down. They know what highways you're on. Every place you go in with your cell phone, every store, they know. They track every freaking movement every freaking day. Oh, but I can't get that vaccine. The government will track me. Yeah, because they've been doing it for 20 freaking years. And first of all, I don't give a shit if the government knows I went to Home Depot at 9 o'clock and then at 12 o'clock I got freaking lunch at Subway. I'm not doing anything freaking wrong. The only people that should be worried about it is freaking people that are breaking the law because you voluntarily gave up your right to privacy when you started using a cell phone and a key fob and an Easy Pass and everything else like that. The GPS in your car tracks every location you've ever been. The car's computers themselves, they know if you ran your car or if it was overheated. They know if you freaking went 100-something miles an hour to avoid the warranty. They know everything about everything we freaking do. I just freaking measured that window for blinds the other day. If I got one more freaking ad for blinds, I can't freaking believe it. So if you don't believe the vaccine is safe, that's one thing. But if you're going to use the privacy argument, that's freaking as stupid as this freaking coffee cup I got right here. End of rant.
All right, right on, man. Well, I have to agree. There's some people we'll never make happy in the world, and it's not by political spectrum. They're just some people are malcontents. I kind of think that politics draws in the worst people and the best people. So you have, we got a big world out there, and I don't believe either side's got it all right. And all I can say is the sooner people start to take historical context into their life and understand our past, to understand why we're here, and what's going on. But I'm going to leave it at that because there's a lot of politics being talked. And really, now that we've talked about it, it's Friday. I've been making a personal habit out of basically media free on the weekend. I still get zoned in like when I'm sitting on Facebook. It's such a time sink for a lot of people, including myself. But everywhere you go, politics creeps into the argument. People start going crazy at each other. And I've actually seen tons of people who've been friends for decades defriend each other for political reasons, which people take themselves so serious. It really is. People in both parties are taking themselves too seriously. I've always felt I've never missed an election, and I'm not going to miss this one, even though I thought for a while I might sit it out. But actually, I already voted like everybody with the mail-in. Anyhow, I just hope that whatever happens, we have more things to do and less of this mess that's been going on. I hate people fighting and screaming at each other. Nothing gets done that way. But on better things, what's coming up? We've got Thanksgiving coming. We've also, for anybody who's watching, we're going to have in the month of December, we're trying to keep everything positive except for Mike's rants because we want him ranting about going to the mall. In fact, Mike, how would you feel if we just went to the mall together and we kind of just walk around and film you, and we'll do some independent rants because there's some choo-choos running around the mall, and I like it too. I'm going to learn from the master,
Wait, I have a thought. What about Mike? Would you be willing to do Black Friday?
Oh man!
If we can get like somebody to stand in and hold your place in line all night long, so you can get up at like 5 a.m. and be at the store. Would you? I mean, that would be freaking epic.
Yeah, I could probably come up with something. Yeah, I could probably come up with something for Black Friday.
I'll get my lawyer down there to be on standby with bail money in case anything goes awry. I'm kidding you.
Another thing that I just want to point out, one more thing that drives me freaking nuts. So I don't know. Some of my fans saw this on my page, but can you see this? All right, this opens up. This is an owner's manual I got with something that I purchased. Now, this is a program that allows me to use a little key fob type device to turn on and off my camera on my tablet. So like I could start recording and then recording. And one side is all in Chinese. So there's my owner's freaking manual. First of all, I'm over 60. I can't read without these freaking things. Then you got to hold them about 8 feet out. Then you got to go borrow a freaking telescope. Now, this is the difference. This came with the microphone. Look at how freaking nice. You could actually read the words. So, is this really, if they made this even twice the size, how much is that going to increase their shipping costs or their paper product cost? Absolutely freaking ridiculous.
So at that point, then we need to get you a pair of Chinese-made glasses that have they're 3 cents, and you can just kind of like, yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that, but I just got a new gimbal here. If you guys are watching from Gimbal, I have to tell you guys, I wholeheartedly endorse this.
It's cool.
We've been in negotiations with them because I use it all the time, and I'm hoping they're going to become one of our sponsors at some point. And I'm pitching them right now. Look, guys, I could sell Ginsu knives, but I'm choosing your product instead of that stupid knife. The only thing I do is keep that in my boot in case it gets a little crazy at, Carnival or, I don't know, any of the
Now, what is that for? A camera mount?
Yes, you mount a cell phone in it.
Okay.
I don't happen to
put it
have
on
one.
Your dash or...
You push the button on, okay? Then you take it, you plop your cell phone in, open the program. It has a program that then, if I had it sitting here and I was aiming at you guys, I could track your face. I'd hit a dot on the camera on my viewfinder on you, and then as you walk, it covers you around the room.
That's pretty cool.
You can walk in a 360-degree circle around this thing. And I have to tell you, I really didn't expect much. I bought it. I bought some of this stuff, and I thought, I don't know. When it came in the box, I was fully prepared to go, I just wasted a little coin. But no, I hooked it up. I downloaded the software. And I have to tell you, though, this is what made me think of it. It had an instruction manual very similar. So, guys, if you're watching and we're going to be a sponsor of your show, you have got to fix the instruction manual because bottom line, I don't represent anything I don't totally believe in. And if that's a problem in the product, let's fix it, make it better because we want to sell lots of them. Isn't that right, Julie?
That is right. It's all about working together, collaborating, all that good stuff. Everybody,
right. So check out the gimbal. It is not too good to be true. It's a really cool product. And,
it is a cool product. And I haven't used that one specifically. I used their previous one, the black one with the handle. Yeah, that thing, I was totally blown away when I first saw that because, it is. It's like a centrifuge. It just keeps moving and balancing and everything.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's like a steady cam, except in one hand.
I'm waiting to get, I've ordered a new Steadicam for when we go live. And hell, I wish I was down in Florida. I'd go with you. We could go down there and battle our way, fight for a television. You always have to have backup, man. Julie will bring you two. Julie's like a brown belt or something. So she'll go in, she'll fight. She's a Florida woman.
Yeah. I did it once. I got up at like 5 in the morning to go buy a Christmas tree. I vowed I would never do it again.
Wait.
What am I doing? What am I freaking doing here? I don't understand this.
It's not like you're going to run out of Christmas trees, right?
People killing each other because they're thankful for everything they have.
I know. It's amazing. It's like Black Friday. Everybody's like, get out of my way. I want that TV. Oh, my God. Remember, we always get these weird Christmas gifts about this time of year that come out. There'll be some guy like, hi, I'm Matt Lauer. It's Christmas at NBC, and we're going to be sitting here with some Steve who made this new toy. Oh, look, it's the wall walker. You slick it, throw it at the wall, and it walks down the wall. Oh, great. It's COVID-spreading device in these troubled times. God almighty. At any rate, so tell me, you've had kids, Mike. What is Christmas like at the Imparato household now?
I got a funny story first. When I was 15, we lived in Brooklyn. So I had 3 younger brothers, and there was this action figure out at the time called Duke, and he had like a camper, and he had a German Shepherd that came with him. So my brothers got me the German Shepherd doll for Christmas. Now, I'm 15 years old. I'm out, I'm drinking in the schoolyards. I'm hanging out. I'm partying. I'm with girls. Now, I don't know if this is a joke or not. So I'm like, oh, wow, guys, this is really great. Thank you so much. And I'm like, wow. But then they all just started freaking cracking up. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because I thought if they at 15 years old, they thought I needed an action figure dog, I was in bad shape.
I love it. Yeah. Do you have a German Shepherd by any chance?
No, actually, my last dog I had was a Jack Russell, but
okay.
I have allergies pretty bad, and I just, and then it became such a hassle with the insurance and every dog you have trying to get, when I lived in Florida, they came around, I had 72 hours to get rid of the trampoline. Then they tell you have 72 hours to get rid of the dog. They're not insuring the house if the dog's on the premises. It just got ridiculous. I bought a house in Leesburg, Florida. They literally gave me 48 hours to have the diving board removed on the pool.
Are you kidding? They made you.
Yeah. Yes.
They made you take that.
Would be canceled. Yep.
It's
like the insurance companies want to take your money, but they don't want to pay out anything.
It's legalized
whatsoever.
It's legalized extortion.
It's exactly what it is.
It is.
And that was a deep pool. The pool was 12 foot deep at that end. So it wasn't like, you have a diving board in a 3-foot pool like an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, 48 hours to have it removed. And it was on there for like 25 years. So me and my cousin Frankie, we had to, burn the bolts off, and it was a job getting that out of there.
Oh my God.
What a pain in the ass. And there you go, everybody. It's like everybody from here is going to move down to Florida and screw it up. I got to tell you, all the people from up here, and everybody is people are airdailing out of New York every day. The trailers are heading down. You have to wait like 90 days to get a trailer to take down south.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And the other thing I notice isn't really, it touches on politics a little bit, but like, I don't live there, thank God. But, I know what's going on in Jersey and New York about the 10 people lit rule for Thanksgiving and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know the virus is deadly. I know it's real. I have friends, I said my brother-in-law passed. I know people that, they'll never be the same from it. So I'm never going to dispute that fact.
Absolutely.
But we're going down such a slippery slope, giving up our rights and our freedoms, because we're almost mirroring what happened to the Jewish race in Germany. It started out with the breaking of the store windows. I think they called it Crystal Night or whatever was the night that they broke all the windows of the Jewish store owners. And then, then now they took away this, and every day they took away another right from the Jews. I mean, I don't think Americans are just going to pile on to bring boxcars and go off to concentration camps. But when you give stuff up, it's so hard to get it back. It's so hard to get it back. And for them to tell you that you can't have more than 10 people at your house for dinner, when both sides, not just the liberals, the Republicans and the liberals, both having parades and rallies and all this other stuff. So how is that okay? But you want to have people for Thanksgiving? And, because then it's the same thing when the Germans started spying and reporting on all their Jewish neighbors. That's what's going to happen up north. People are going to be calling these hotline numbers. I just counted 9 people go into my neighbor's house, and there's already 4 people living there.
It's already happening. There's people about stores, and then, there's a lot of bad blood on both sides at this point. Yeah. We all know that. But you know what? It kills me. Like you said, you're going to Thanksgiving Day, and you're getting in a fight over a TV with some idiot. Yeah. I mean, I will not go do that crap. Anything I have to get, I get well ahead of the time. I used to go through and do like O.J. Simpson running through an airport with a suitcase.
Right.
I'd go through the mall, jumping over kids. Get out of here. No, I don't want to play with Santa Claus. And now I'm going to be at least 10 miles away from any mall on any day where there's a bunch of madness. And I don't know. That's my rant, too, because I just, the spirit is so gone. They're already putting crap up in the the drugstore I go to. Yeah. I'm going to go buy, I don't know, I was trying to buy like a Wolfman mask for Halloween. They wanted like $40 for one that looked kind of terrifying. Yeah. I figured I'd go in after the holiday, but no, they have merchandise. I mean, overnight, it's gone. There's inventory. Amazing, the process. But so, Julie, how about last night's interview? What do you think of our guys?
Oh yeah, no, they were really good. They were excellent.
Actus Reus. Excuse me. Actus Reus, guys. We had that's Latin for those of you who think Taco Bell is Mexican food. At any rate,
but it is Latin for real, and it's Latin for like a criminally.
It's the action of committing a crime versus the thought of committing a crime, which is mens rea. For those who like Latin.
Thank you.
For any of you who are lawyers out there, you can call me for advice. I'm only $400 an hour for the consultation, and I'll need a $10,000 retainer, and then I'll get you rolling on a plan for health, wealth, and success in the new year. More cash in the legal industry, just what we need. Actually, we have a class. Here it is, personalities for lawyers. All right, you're live with Neve. Tell me about yourself. Well, go ahead, Julie. What do you think of lawyers?
Oh, don't go. I didn't want to go quite there, but I wanted to touch on something Mike had said about.
Let's go back to it.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on something Mike said about how just like the government officials and everybody, they're not compliant. They're fighting over this, that, the other thing. I could tell you, down here, I've seen even the police. They're not compliant in COVID, and they're always in. You're constantly in how many different people's faces all day long. They're not compliant. They don't give a shit. Why do we have to be compliant? See, I really have this problem with authority.
I never knew
we're all
that about
equal.
you.
We're all. We all bleed the same color blood. So it's like
your mic's a little hot, buddy.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to touch on that, Mike, because you're right. Because that's the way the everybody who's in government or has some sort of authority, that's exactly how they behave. And Mike's dead on with that.
Yeah. Well, no, it's crazy.
Well, we're approaching the half hour, and I just want to mention one of my friends and an excellent photographer who's out there. If anybody is in the New York metro area and you need rock and roll photography, please check out Nancy Kravis Photography on Facebook. Nancy is excellent. She can always find my good side, and nobody else ever can. I've been using her for at least 5 years now. And we're going to be showing you a commercial about Nancy's business. All I can tell you, if you're in entertainment and you need headshots or you need a band recorded, or actually her expertise is musical pictures, bands in great locations. She has a tremendous eye. She's funny, and she puts up with me when I start ranting about. We went out and did a shoot with a doll, which couldn't make the show because Julie had to censor it. It was just, it was awful. We had a creepy clown we discovered, and it really was not PG. In fact, I'm going to have Mike. I'm going to send him the clown.
Barely are.
I'm going to send it to him because, in fact, Mike, if this thing comes, when you open it up, just have your piece behind you. You never know.
You got it.
Might jump out of the box.
Hey,
I have clown experience. I was on the Bozo show when I was 7.
Oh, no, really? No way.
Hey,
I was in first grade. My sister Kathy was in 3rd, and I won a Johnny West Buffalo in a time bomb game. She won some bubblegum chewing contest. I forget what her prize was. But, and so all our classes at St. Jerome's watched it while we were there. And then we came, because my mother made us go back to school in the afternoon. But, we were big celebrities when we showed up because they watched us live on Bozo.
Oh, so did you actually get to go up on stage with Bozo?
Yeah, I was in the time bomb game, and I won, like I said, it was a Johnny West Buffalo, which at the time was great because I had all the Johnny West figures and everything. And
it's interesting. We have a similar past in that. I have an interesting story, or I think it's kind of interesting. I was on Candid Camera, and I was on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. This was approximately 1965 or 6. Prior to them using a lot of videotape, they shot at my high school. They came in, and they decided I was a mouthy little smartass, and they wanted to put me on camera. I don't know what. I have no idea why they picked me or my little friend, Ivy from Yoka. I had a little crush, a 5-year-old crush on Ivy. Ivy Fernioka.
Oh, I thought you said Yoko Ono.
No, Yoko. That reminds me of a bad joke I won't tell right now. Anyhow, the clown thing, though, if this thing shows up at your door in a box, I'm telling you, we were out on the hook with it, and I almost just decided to thrash it or something. I didn't have a gun. I was going to punt it into the bay. Just something about clowns kind of gets a little scary sometimes. So, at any rate, okay, people, it is 10:38, and this segment is brought to you by Nancy Kravis Photography. And if you want to check her out, direct private message me, and you can, you'll get it all. She'll reach out to you, and she'll give you excellent service. And at the end, I guarantee you will be happy, because if she can make me happy, she can make anybody happy. Isn't that right, Julie?
That is right. And you know what? I also have one of our other guests, if we wanted to welcome him in, Mark Rich as well, is standing by. So did we want to have him come on?
Yeah, let's bring Mark on.
All right.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna slip off the mic for a minute and bring on our friend. All right, and hang tough. We're gonna talk to you shortly. Tell us if you think of anything that's really bugging you, man. Break in. We're here for a while. We got 20 minutes, so just raise your hand. I'll bring you right on back if you have any wise words for Mark. So everybody, you're watching. We're going to bring on Mark Rich of Shooting the Breeze. He's from beautiful Hampshire, England. He's been a friend of mine. He's one of my earliest guests back when the show had nothing. We didn't have Julie. We didn't have all this fancy screen stuff. We didn't have Mike. I mean, all we had was me, an iPad, and a phone. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Mark Rich from the band Shooting the Breeze.
Yeah, we're getting there. Yep, we're working on it here.
Okay.
Getting him in.
So let me tell you a little bit about Mark's band. Here, is he coming in? Oh. Mark's band, Shooting the Breeze, won the European Talent Contest for Best Song last year. It was a direct result of him being on my show. I know Mike can't defend himself because he's not locked in, and he's going to come on and tell me. The truth is, the reason Mike's a cool guy, aside from being a funny dude, he has got a great sense of advertising for a rock and roll band, and a lot of bands out there should use his template. I endorse it because I've used elements of what he's done for his band. If you're trying to build a YouTube presence, ring him up. He's a good guy, and he would talk about it. But if you really want him to talk about it, buy some of their music, log on to their YouTube page and subscribe, and, do something. Send him money, whatever you have to do, but he'll do you right. Same thing with our guest, Mike here. Go to Mike Imparato's Rants. He's out there. He's doing this. He works hard at it. We have lots of fun. And, we all deserve to eat. If you don't do this, just think about what could happen. The three of us could be out in the street. We could be under a bridge eating a squirrel with a butane lighter. We could be, we could be showing up at rallies and breaking things. There's all these things that we would be reduced to. But
there you go.
I mean, hey, what can I tell you, man? I'm ready to see some good comedy coming up as well. I have a couple of friends up here. One of them is the great Vinny Brand. Are you familiar with Vinny? He runs a club here. Excuse me.
No.
He's a great comic and a really funny guy. And I've been trying to reach out to him because I did some business once with him, and I could never really tell if he was being Vinny the buyer or if he was Vinny the comedian, because he was constantly busting my chops. And finally we get ready to sign the deal. We go down there and I bring my boss with me. It's like a big video production thing. We go in, and when we sit down, Vinny looks at everybody and he goes, "All right, it's great to meet you guys." He goes, "I love Neil here. In fact, I wouldn't even be doing this deal if it wasn't for him. But I know he's completely unemployable in any other profession other than what he does for you." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Oh, geez, thanks, And he was hysterically funny. It's Vinny Brand's. Oh, God, Vinny, he's going to kill me. He's going to see this. For some reason, I'm having one of the other comedy clubs stick in my brain. So this is a moment where I'll just stick my foot in my mouth. Anyway, that's a great way to win friends. We're having a problem bringing Mark in?
Yeah, I haven't seen Mark yet, but yep, I'll drop him in as soon as I see him.
Okie doke.
Okay, guys, keep talking.
Well, let's get back to talking to Mike again. Mike, what are your plans for the holidays coming up? Are you having a gathering with 20, 30 people, just you and the wife?
No, right now, actually, we have no plans. My son out in Missouri asked me if we wanted to come out for Thanksgiving, but with the virus, I'm not traveling like that, because Angie doesn't like to fly, so we'd be driving, and I wouldn't get on a plane right now anyway. I
wouldn't either.
So we're just going to lay low and probably just have dinner at home, the two of us, and, because we've been pretty isolated for last, since March. And until I get that vaccine, I ain't in a hurry to go anywhere.
Well, tell me, Angie obviously supports you in your endeavor here. I crack up because I only know her from hearing her cracking up at you.
Yeah, she can't stop laughing.
I crack
Everybody
up myself.
Loves it.
It's like having it's better than a laugh track because it's authentic and you can hear her cracking up.
It's great. She can't try it. Yeah.
Well, I guess, how long have you guys been married?
Well, actually, we're only engaged. We met October 4th of 2016.
Okay.
So we've been together a little over 4 years.
Well, great. Excellent. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. But one thing I did want to touch on is, for anybody watching today, the biggest scam going around Facebook that the last couple of weeks is these guys are going to have a picture of somebody in uniform, They're going to say they're a general in the United States Army. They're all widowed, and they're all stationed in Afghanistan. And every one of them are scamming pieces of shit. So if you get any friend requests from anybody that says they're a general in the United States Army and they're widowed, automatically, I report them first as a fake account, and then I delete them. So,
Great.
the preying on the elderly women is just freaking horrible.
That is really the dark underbelly of Facebook.
Yeah.
And in fact, I've been amazed because I've gotten friend requests from people who, and I'm like, how does this person why would this 19-year-old girl want to be friends with a 60-year-old guy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, out of here, edit. But I get probably a dozen. In fact, Facebook doesn't control it because if you click on a link, it takes you right into pornography. If you were a kid,
no, it doesn't.
Any 15-year-old boy out there, he can get porn on Facebook. Just click on one of those chicks who sends you a link and you're off and running.
It'll say right under their it says right under their picture, if you want to see me naked or whatever, click this link. And it's horrible because if they could do such an amazing job censoring political comments and things like that, they can't do anything about these scammers. They got to have facial recognition technology.
Yeah.
And this one guy, he's used like 30 names so far, and he just keeps making profiles using the same guy's picture. You would think that their facial recognition technology would automatically block that photo from being used on Facebook. You would think it, but I guess not.
But you know what's more important,
something about that. What's that?
I was going to say, but what's most important is that we make sure there is no music on Facebook because that is a large threat to everybody.
I know. It's so ridiculous. And I wanted to touch on that a little bit because, everybody's leaving Facebook, going to MeWe, they're going to Parler. Hey, that's fine. Everybody, we're not robots. Everybody gets to do their own thing in life. But Facebook was never, ever intended to be a political platform.
Right.
Facebook was intended for social media. Share photos of your family, your accomplishments, your vacations.
Right.
It was never meant as a platform to spew hatred and regardless of what side you're on. So, and they're all like, oh, they're censoring. Yeah, but you know what? It was never intended as a political soapbox.
Right. And they can't be censoring anything. I mean,
yeah.
I will tell you something. I was the moderator of the group here in New Jersey, one of the largest counties, actually one of the second largest town in New Jersey. Lovely place. And after I was recovering from my accident, I had a lot of time in bed, and so I started moderating it. And I took a very centrist middle line. I didn't tolerate anybody swearing at each other. The rules were all posted. I eventually just got tired of doing it because when the election started coming up, for example, I posted something, and someone who was with one of these activist groups, I don't want to get anybody infamed, but I know who it was because I checked them out. I did a reverse search on them, and it was obvious this was a hacked. It was like not a hacked account. It was somebody who was going out, had been paid to go out and rile up small town, middle town, their Facebook groups. So what they did is, I threw somebody out of the room because we had to finally make it no national politics at all. If you bring up national politics, you're out of here. It's just causing too many fights. I was getting like 150 complaints a day. I was just doing this for, in my recovery to kind of have something to do in bed and while I'm in a lot of pain. It turned into such a horror show. I've had people accuse me of being the worst of both the left and the right. I had this guy who looked back through my Facebook history, which was great. You can tell some of these folks have no sense of humor. He found a joke I made during the Hillary Clinton campaign of 2016. And in that joke, I was really just poking fun. I said, I don't know any guy out there who really thinks of their dream wife and thinks of Hillary Clinton. I'm sorry. It just doesn't, to me, she's not somebody I really want to hang with, I'm here and rubbing my feet. I mean, oh my God, I can't even imagine. But the thing was, I'm sorry, guys. I'm drawing a blank. It's one of those mornings.
It's been really weird. It's like craziness.
So the joke I made, it came back to me. The joke I made was that Bill really doesn't want her to win. He just wants to go down to the Clinton Library, hang out with his friends, indulge in intellectual discussions with college students and all the stuff he likes to do. The last thing he wants to do is be stuck in the White House with Madam Secretary she's already been throwing shot glasses at him before. It ain't going to get better over time. He's just like, oh, hell, I hope she doesn't win. I just got to stay down in Arkansas. He gets the state troopers to cart him around to various functions. But this guy looked that up, and then he comes out. That was his big aha moment on Facebook. He unmasked me that I made a joke purely in fun. I wasn't making it political at all. I was really, whatever party Billy is, I find him hilariously funny. He left our country with no debt to speak of. Yeah. And I think he's much more, I find him a lot more fun to hang with than Bill. In fact, I'd rather go to the library and party with Bill and go anywhere with Hillary. She just doesn't seem nice. Yeah. And again,
it's sad that, we lost our ability to laugh at each other, and that's really hurt. That's hurt this country so much.
It does. Our comedy is.
Who am I going to offend if I say this? If I say this, it's so ridiculous.
It is.
It's just ridiculous.
If you turn on MTV, you can hear all kinds of crazy stuff on rap videos. I have to admit, some of that stuff just cracks me up. I told people 30 years ago, the first time I heard NWA, I brought it to a gig on a cassette. And Julie, you remember Ralph?
Yeah.
Before the show, I come up to him as usual, and Ralph's up there, and he's like a typical gruff sound man. He's seen it all. He's heard it all. He doesn't want any shit from anybody, even me. I'd come up with him. I'd bring him some music, and he'd go, Christ, Neil, what do you got now? I said, come on, Ralphie, put this on, man. He goes, all right. What is this shit? And I go, don't worry about it. He puts it on, and all of a sudden it's like, at the police and all that crap. I heard it, and the whole audience just was like, oh! In fact, all of us in America at the time were going, what the hell is this, But I listened to it, and I cracked up because it was given to me by a kid. I worked at a place where we made legs for people, and the owner's son was in a heavy metal band. So he was asking me to produce his record at the time. So he would give me music he was listening to. He was, like a real rocker. So he turns me on to that. We're riding around delivering artificial legs one day. And he put it on. Yeah, we used to deliver them to the factory where we'd do more work. We'd grind them out, make them comfortable for people. It was very involved. Great, fun job, actually. But he turned me on to NWA, and I went, this is the most nutty shit I've ever heard, And he goes, you haven't heard nothing yet. So by the end of the day, we're riding around, and I have a gig that night. And I'm like, dude, you got to let me have this tape. I'm bringing this to the gig tonight. Because I know, I've driven Ralph crazy with tapes I give him before the show for years. He'll put it on and take it off and put the Led Zeppelin or something back on. But I put it on, and when it was over, after the set, he was like, what is that shit? Where the hell did you get that? And I'm like, some heavy metal kid gave it to me. And he goes, that's awful, he said. I said, you know what? I got just a funny feeling. I said, you think about it. Out in suburbia, there's going to be like 14-year-old little white kids sitting in their backyard with their suburban mom and their tennis and their perfect little dog. And all of a sudden, they're going to hear this shit. And they're going to come unglued. They're going to laugh their ass off. It was hysterically funny. It was obviously so blatantly racist and over the top that anybody with a brain wouldn't take it seriously. Although, it offended a lot of people, but by design, that's why they made it, because they offended so many people. And it's hard to break through the noise. That's why, even now, the entertainment industry, I'm not going to rag on it because old men have been ragging on younger men's music for centuries, and I'm not going to join that club. But there is a lot of crap being made today. And part of my theory, I argue this with a lot of my musician friends who play an instrument, traditional rock guitar, blah, blah, blah. For the past 30 years, we've been having the transition to recordings made only with sequencers and computers. I partook in that. I started in the 70s. I was one of the first drummers I've ever met who had started when the drums came out in the 70s. The snare, the Syndrum, all these things that you'd see on like the Cars videos. Very experimental. A lot of it was crap, but you'd hear like sharp, cheap sunglasses. You'd hear doo doo. It became part of the musical lexicon. Then drum machines came out. I went out and bought one. I remember the guy at Thoroughbred. I was trying to buy it, and some other goob wanted it, and they only had one. And so I told my sales guy, I said, I don't care what he's paying. I'll give you personally $100. This is going home with me today. And the guy wandered off. I just grabbed it and went up and paid for it because I wanted it. At the time, they did not make interfaces for drum kits.
Okay.
So what did I do? I had one made for me. Built the first CV voltage to trigger voltage in drum pad. I had an adapter made so that we could plug a little tiny speaker, tape it to a drum, hit the drum, and trigger this drum machine, have this perfect dunk, dunk, dunk studio drum sound. It was great, and nobody else had done it. So I went and the guy who built it for me was at Thoroughbred. His name is Mike J. Mike, you're still down at Florida at Diversified. No, not Diversified. He's at Musical Equipment Repair. And over the years, he built me a lot of things. But what I'm getting at is everybody said you're as a drummer, you're out of here. No gigs for you, man. I'm going to get a drum machine. I won't have to listen to you. I won't have to pay you. I won't have to feed you. And I went, I thought at the time, I'm like, man, here, you sit down at my drum kit and I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back and forth, left and right brain training. And I'm going to do this because of years of rehearsal and tuning my body to respond very quickly to thought. Well, if a guy who's not a drummer sits down to program something there's a lot of levels of complexity. How hard you hit it, how quick you bounce, how long you hit it. There's a lot of factors. And I can't see back then anybody programming better than a drummer because they don't even understand drumming at the root level.
Yeah, true.
Nowadays, it's all based that way, and it can be very good. But my theory about the kids in music today, I know I rambled and took a while to get back around to it, was this technology has been around, but its prevalence in music's been the past 20 years. And it really took that time for people to be able to use the equipment well enough to make something really musical, because it's like learning a horn part or try and have a band with a horn section. It's the same thing. Getting 8 horns and a 10-piece band to play together, a lot of work and effort. You can program it in on a synthesizer and have a reasonable facsimile nowadays, but still in all, when you go see a concert with a big band, anybody in the biz, they're going to have live drums, live horns, they're going to have musicians, they're going to have dancing girls, because you can't fake that. You can't put it in a box. I guess the best they can do nowadays is have a hologram. But we have digressed, and that's okay. I guess it's my show. I can do what I want, right?
You can do whatever you want.
That's it, man.
Whatever.
So,
a great story about drumming. I took my boys to see Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band in Tampa many years ago. And at the time, my son Brian was taking guitar lessons. So he decided at that concert, without a doubt, he wanted drums. So I spoiled the shit out of my kids. So the next day when he got off the school bus, the drum set was waiting in the house. Because he was going to be Ringo.
Man. Nice.
He was probably 8 at the time or 9. Yeah.
Oh, man. What a great dad you are.
Yeah, my kids are so into my son Michael, 29 years old, Staff Sergeant in the Air Force. The only channel he listens to is the Beatles channel on Sirius XM. Beatles fanatic. And they're all, my sons, like I said, they've watched all the Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis stuff, all the classics. But speaking of which, like we were saying before, could you imagine the Dean Martin celebrity roasts on today?
Oh, yeah.
99% of everything they said in the past would never be allowed on television today.
Yeah. And
it's ridiculous.
If they were speaking in a double entendre fashion, a lot of these idiots wouldn't even know the joke or the references to it. They'd be kind of sitting there going, what is he talking about? We're going to close it out. I think the trend in comedy is awful. There are comics. The only guy out there right now is the guy who walked away. I was just about to say Chris Rock, and now his face is in my picture. But even Chris Rock doesn't do college campuses anymore.
Yeah, you can't because there's like so many words that are labeled offensive right now. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, like I love these.
And you know what? The one thing I've noticed, though, I was going to say the one thing I noticed, though, on cable, every word is allowed except the F word. So there is that. Yeah. So that stuff is allowed now on television. Before, you couldn't even say ass on TV. I remember watching Beverly Hills Cop recorded off of on VHS, just recorded off of the TV, and everything's bleeped out or quieted out. My ass. Ass is gone. Yeah. You can't say freaking ass. But hey.
My ass is out in the yard chewing up the neighbor's flowers, Yeah. I mean, so tell me, what do we What have we got coming up, Julie? Who have we got? We're be talking to soon. We got some cool announcements.
Yeah, we do, and we still have Mr. Mark Rich trying to get in, but he's having some difficulty, and so
we'll set him up for next week. Just send him a note; he'll understand because this happens sometimes. I can't figure out why. I've had people on Facebook from Afghanistan and then couldn't get somebody on here in the States. All right, everybody, it's 10:59. You've been here with Live with Neve. You're here with Julie Bruno. Mike Imparato. Mike Imparato's Rants has so graciously joined us, and we've had a hell of a time, as we always do, Mike.
And make sure you find him on MikeImparato.com, right? MikeImparato.com.
Right now, hold on. Can you see this?
There you go.
Here we go. There you go. Mike Imparato's Rants. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
There
you go. Thank you, guys.
Man, the myth, the legend. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Mike. And,
absolutely. It's in my book.
Okay, man. I'm going to try and send a bunch of people your way. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So